Well, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced 10,334,590,001 pieces, commonly called pennies. These pennies were then bagged with $50 in pennies per bag. This process resulted in how many pennies? So there's 100 pennies in a dollar. So I have a helper here. So this is...
I'm Lyra.
So 50 times, what's 50 times 100, Lyra?
5,000.
5,000. So there's 5,000 pennies per bag. How many bags of pennies? So we could take the total number of pennies divided by 5,000. And obviously this is easiest on a calculator, but you're going to get 2,066,918, or choice. Given this equation is true, what is the value of x over y? We look at our answers, they're in fractions, so we're just going to have a fraction of x over y. And so with this equation, we're just going to cross multiply. So I have Lyra here to help me. Lyra, what's 4 times x?
4x.
Plus, what's 4 times y?
4y.
Okay, and then what's 3x times 7?
21x.
21x, and then minus 7 times y, 7y. So let's get our like terms together. So let's subtract 4x from both sides. We have 17x. Let's add 7y to both sides. What's 7 plus 4?
11.
11y. Okay, and now let's divide our 11. So now we have y equals 17 over 11x. And we can, we can get, just divide our x out. So divide both sides by x now. And we get y over x equals 17 over 11. We want x over y. So what are we going to do? Let's just flip it. X over y equals 11 over 17. Or choice H. U, V, and W are represented in the standard plane below. In what direction will U minus V plus W point? So we have positive U, so we follow the direction of the arrow. Then we have negative V, so we're going to take the length of this one, I'm going to move it, so it goes the opposite direction. So we're going this way. U minus V, then plus W, so let's make it orange. So W is here. Let's make that a highlighter, a little easier to see. W, okay. And so then that's going to put that over here. And that means the ultimate direction, so starting the origin to here, will go up and to the right, or choice A. Shown below a board of 11 feet and 4 inches long, so this board here is cut into 2 equal parts. We're going to cut it right in the middle. To the nearest inch, what is the length of each part? Okay, so let's first convert this to inches. So it's 12 inches in a foot. ACT doesn't tell you that here. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So 11 times 12 is 132. Then we have to add this 4 inches plus 4, and we get 136 inches is the length of the total board. But we don't want the total board, we want half of it. So we have to divide that by 2, and we get 68. So half of this board is 68 inches. So from here to here, 68 inches. We want to convert that to feet, so we divide it by 12. So 68 divided by 12 is 5 feet with 8 inches left over. So 5 and 8/12, or choice H. Following are linear factors of this expression. Okay, so you could, for this one, you could just plug in the answers if you wanted to, or you could factor it out. So if we look at the first selection, KRX squared, so something times x is going to get us x squared, and kx, and rx will give us krx squared. So we can get rid of choice E, because that one's not going to work. Now let's look at positive mn. So we need something that's going to give us a positive mn. So it looks like the positive would work, negative would work. So n m, and then that would also give us, so we fold this out, first, outer, inner, last. That would give us this expression with the x factored out. So choice D. And again, you could factor this, foil this out to see if you needed to. So D. Which of the following numbers has the greatest value? So these are in decimals, so let's convert them all to decimals. So choice F, 15 divided by 101 is 0.09. Choice G is 0.1501. Choice H is obviously just 0.15. Choice J is repeating, so 0.151515, and just keeps going. And choice K looks similar. Oh, this one's tricky. 0.151151, repeating. If you're not paying attention, you might choose choice K over choice K over choice J, especially if you don't write them out, because you'll see there's the same up to here, up to here, and then this 5 and this 1 makes choice J bigger, because 5 is greater than 1. So J is your answer. If you don't write these out, you might get tripped up by choice K, which is, I think, what ACT is probably expecting you to do, since this is a number 36. 3 locations during a work day. She remained at each location a whole number of hours. The graph below shows the relationship between time, distance, and miles traveled. Which of the following is closest to her speed? So we're going to use our distance, rate, time triangle. Distance, rate, time, right? So distance divided by rate gives you time. Distance divided by time gives you rate. So let's see, what's the total distance traveled? So we know she traveled 270 miles. So 270 is our distance. And we're given time, we want to know rate. So what's the total time she traveled? So 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. So 270 divided by 6 should give us our rate, and that is 45. So our rate is 45, or D. Let f of x be this and g of x be this for all values. What is f of g of x? So we're working backwards here. We're just plugging the g of x into the f of x. So x squared is going to be x plus 3 squared plus 2. And then we'll fold this out. So it's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3 plus 2. So we get x squared first, outer plus 3x, inner plus 3x, last plus 9 plus 2. So we're going to have 11. We're going to have 6x, and we're going to have x squared. So choice H. ABC below, the measure of ABD is 70, okay? The measure of ACB is 32. D is on BC, and AD is a bisector of BAC. Okay, AD is a bisector of BAC, so it cuts this angle in half. What is the measure of ADB? So we ultimately want to know, what is this angle? Okay, so we can figure out this angle because it's a triangle. So we can take this entire triangle and say 180 degrees minus 70 minus 32, and that's going to give us 78. So this entire angle right here is 78 degrees. If this line bisects it, that means we can cut that in half, and that means each one is 39. So now we know that this angle is 39 degrees. So now we have another triangle we can use. We can use this triangle and do the same thing again because we're looking for this angle here in the corner, but now we can go 180 minus 70 minus 39, and that equals 71, or C. Given the function below, what is f of 4? So f of 4, we're going to put it in here. So if f is less, or if x is less than 4, we use this expression. If it's greater than or equal to 4, we use this one. So negative 1/2 of 4 minus 3. That means this is going to be negative 2 minus 3, and that equals negative 5.